Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. Good to have you here. For those of us on Facebook, for those of us on YouTube, I want to welcome every one of us. For those that are joining us on Teams, I would like you to thumbs up if you can hear me, or and those of us on YouTube, if you can hear me, I'd just like to see your comment so we're sure that we are live. If you're on YouTube and you can hear me, can you just thumbs up? If you're on Teams and you're able to hear me, please thumbs up. Just indicate that you are able to hear me. Okay, some people are still joining. Please, if you are able to hear me, I would like to see responses from you so that I'm sure that everyone here can see and can hear. I'm sure you can see. I just want to be sure that you are able to hear. Can you hear me? Able to hear me? All right, thank you so much. Um, Adeyemi, can you speak so that we confirm that people on the other end can hear you?
Uh, Good afternoon. Good everyone. Hope you can all hear me.
Can so we can hear him.
Okay, perfect.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining. Um, we're just going to wait a few more minutes and then we're going to start immediately. Thank you once again for joining. It's a privilege to have you all here. Um, I also want to appreciate deeply Mr. Adeyemi Quadri, who is going to be taking one part of the session, roughly for about 1 hour, and then I would handle the second part. Today, we'll be looking at structure your experience into income. A lot of us have experiences, lived experiences that are valuable. And a lot of times these things are intangible. And because they are intangible, oftentimes they go unnoticed or they go, they are not adequately rewarded. There's this saying that people would always undervalue you. People would always prize you based on the value they place on you. But we also need to learn to place value on ourselves and turn our values into income and be able to properly price ourselves. Sometimes we are at the mercy of our employers, but as educators and as entrepreneurs, whatever field you find yourself, you are able to also look at things that you can do that would enable you um, validate your experiences and then add value to it. Money or funds, money and reward always flow towards value. And the higher the value you are able to deliver, the more money you are able to learn. I learned that this principle at a very young age. So let me just give you a background of what I'm trying to say, and then we move straight into the session with our speaker starting off. When I was young, I grew up in Kano, and we lived in an area around Zaria Road called Naibawa. And after a while, um, the government water corporation stopped getting to our area. So at one point, everybody had water. And so most people, when it stopped, they defaulted to well. They dug wells. We also had well in our house. And so people could come into our house to fetch, and you could not do any, well, you open it up onto them. But then my dad did something. Behind our fence, he dug a borehole. And so he dug the borehole, put tanks, and then we began to sell water. What was first free because government was providing it became scarce, and then everybody had well. We had well, we couldn't sell from the well. So he dug borehole. He added a little some level of value. He dug borehole, the borehole will pump the water into the tank and people will open the tank and fetch. And we're selling one bucket for like two naira. And then um, a truck pushers. I actually started my first business. Then I bought trucks and I gave it out to Merua. And we call them Merua in the north. And they have jerry cans. Now they will come by for 2 naira per jerry can. But because they are providing some service that added value, that means they will come and fetch it. You will be in your house. They will drive it to you and then they sell it to you at 5 naira. So it was first free, then we began to sell it, and then somebody's adding another layer of value and the prices go up. Then, right in front of our house, there was a family that would buy a bucket from us and put it into a leather bag, plastic bag, or nylon bag, put it in the fridge, and then they were selling one piece of that for 1 naira, and they will buy a bucket for 2 naira, and maybe they will get like 20 of that out of the bucket, and so what 2 naira became 20 naira in their hands. And then down the street, another person bought a purifier and collected buy water from us. He will run it through a purifier, get this pure water bag and seal it, and then was selling one of those at 5 naira each. What I've just described from you was a flow of value. And as value increases, the cost or the fee that you are able to charge people also increase, because with value comes additional services that you are providing. And so a lot of us we're not bereft of value. We're not bereft of experiences. But the challenge we often have is, how do we convert these experiences or structure them into income? We have experiences. The first thing we will learn today is how do you structure it? Experience without structure becomes looked down upon. People will not place premium or value on it. But if you learn to structure it and then market it, then people will be willing to pay for it. So the first section we focus on that, and then the second section will also focus on the first place that you would also want to, a platform that gives us a way to structure and properly present our experiences. And I'll be looking at LinkedIn. So without wasting too much time, I'm going to invite.
that generate income for them. So, and I have been doing this for, this will be the fourth year. So I used to train people and help people to convert their experience into digital assets. So today's session will be basically practical. So at the end of this session, you should be able to go away with a particular experience from a particular product from your experience, and even we'll build a product together. So, and that is what we want to do. So, thank you, Mr. Rotimi, for having me. I don't know if I can proceed.
Yes, you can proceed. You may proceed. Thank you. You want to
Okay,
share your screen?
thank you.
Your screen is on
Yes.
already.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for having me once again. So, what we'll be discussing today is a practical session and is a working session that I will need us to take our pen and paper. We want to draw out something from our experience. And the topic for today is structure your experience into income, which is very important because we know what is happening in, or generally in the globe. Inflation eating everything we have. And a lot of people complain about salary is not being enough, whereas they have a tons of experience that can actually generate income for them. So, but they don't know how to extract this, which is a general problem a lot of professionals are facing. So, before I move, I would just give us a quick background between what we call digital product and digital assets. A digital product is just a product that we create just once, like maybe ebook, what courses or something like that. Why digital asset is, from one experience you can actually generate up to 17 or 20 products out of it. So depend on how you want to go. I will share an experience with that. So let us dive in. So the core problem that we have is that most professionals already have monetizable experience. The problem is not knowledge; it is packaging and execution. So a lot of people know that okay, I have this thing, but I don't know how to extract it out. Even I don't know those people that actually need it. So which is something that very that we will know at the end of today's session. We'll be able to do that. So let me share. I will share. Oh, sorry. So I'll share two stories. The first one is one that happened to me, and the second one is to a friend. But let me start with that of a friend. So this my friend happened to be a first class graduate of my school, and he has trained. I think the is the BSG of our set. The BSG that followed the set behind us. So he was the one that trained this person. The third set, he was the one that trained them. So and there's a time, once you finish, you want to figure out what you want to do. So this, my friend, lamenting about, okay, the work that he's doing with all his first class, he couldn't get a job that we actually pay to that the level of his ability. I look at him, I told him that you already have an asset with you, but you don't know. So that's how I said, okay, you have a system, you know how to train people to write first class. So, what have you think about you converting that your experience into something that people can buy? And be like, is it possible? So I sat down with him, had a 30-minute strategy call with him, and from his own experience alone, we're able to generate up to 17 products from community down to his study guide, his audio book, his courses, mini course on writing first class, just on one particular experience. That is on for my friend. The second one that happened to me is that I used to create content, and I do have issue creating content. So it is headache for me. So I able to use AI to generate a clone of myself, and people were like, okay, how did I do this? And so it leads to me training other people on how to do it, converting this thing to a community. And within the first 3 days we opened this community, we hit this total number of subscribers. So within just 2 days. So and this is the community here, which is AI video revenue. So what I'm saying with this story is that okay, a lot of people already have monetizable experience. A lot of people have lived through some experience, has passed some certain examination that people are struggling with right now. Some people already did some uh, maybe a breakthrough that people are what finding difficult right now. So which they don't know how to what package it, and that is what we'll be achieving today. So by the end of today's session, we'll be living with a validated digital asset idea, including the product. If we follow through, a structure offer that we can actually use to sell this. So a pricing direction that you can use to like to price your product, and the last thing is a monetization part to it. So now let us take our pen and work something out. Mr. Rotimi, I want to ask, I don't know if people can respond to what I'm saying. Like I need someone to be like a kind of I don't want to say specimen that will walk through this together.
Yeah, people can respond on Teams. People can respond on. You might need to switch your screen. I think there's a loop on YouTube. Those joining on YouTube, I would post their comment, and you'll be able to see their comment on the screen.
Okay. I'm thinking this way. Let me use Mr. Rotimi as as specimen for this particular
All right,
session,
that's fine. That's fine.
so that people can actually follow through what we are doing. They can be doing it on their own too, as we are achieving something. Yes. So, the first thing we'll be doing, Mr. Rotimi, is discovery. So, we want to discover what you already have in you that can actually fetch out a lot of money. I know you have a lot, but we just want to pick something for this particular session, and we want to build it together. So, we have some certain questions that we do ask for us to know which kind of experience actually that people will be willing to pay for. So as been mentioned here, your experience is already a system. So Mr. Rotimi, I wanted to take a pen and a little book. So I will ask the question. I want to answer it there. So and you'll be responding to my question. So the first one is the extraction question. Mr. Rotimi, what problem have you solved repeatedly? That means okay, this is a problem that I do face every day, but I've solved it repeatedly.
Sorry, can you come
You
again,
can
please?
list five. Like what problem have you solved repeatedly?
Okay. Yeah, okay, go ahead. I'm listing them down.
Okay. So from those problems you mentioned that you are writing, what do people ask you about them? From each one of them, okay, maybe you have, okay, people do ask me about this particular problem. Let me ask for example, my own video content. Okay, the problem I solve repeatedly is that okay, I normally use AI to clone my video. And what is people do ask me about is that how did I do this? So so that is the next question. So and the third question is that what feels normal to you but hard to other to do, like in this particular problem you mentioned. My own case is that people does not know it is easy for you to clone yourself within just 3 minutes. It is normal to me to clone myself, right? A lot of people does not know how to do this. So Mr. Rutimi, can you walk us through what you have done so we look at it together?
Okay,
So
so
what problem are you solving?
yeah, so can you hear me? The first one is automation of tasks. I
Okay,
When I do
kind
things
of task.
repeatedly, I just find a way to automate it to make it easier for me
Okay,
to do. Then
okay,
I'm also able to see skill gaps, and that's what led to TTC actually being able to
okay,
see skill gaps and do something to fill it up. And
okay,
then I've also seen that tech skills. A lot of tech skills just come to me. I'm able to do things so easily. Sometimes people ask me a question, and the way I respond, it baffles me self that I can respond that way. So
okay,
those are some of the things that I'm able to put down. And the question that people ask me often is, "How do you do this?" Or "How can I do this? How
okay.
can I do this? How can I
How
do?"
can I? How can I? Now, from it, what feels normal to you but hard for other to do? From those things you mentioned, what feels normal to you? From okay, automation of tasks, okay, the skill gap and the tech, which one feel normal to you but hard for other to do?
I think it's the so it's a broad range of things. Some people it might be in the area of the tech skills that they are lacking, and I'm able to fill in that gap. Some people might be in the automation. For example, I could, with just a simple Gmail account, automate an entire school process from admissions to documentations to report card with just one email address, Gmail. I could automate that same process. So
Mm,
and that might be difficult for people to do. You might have to get softwares, student management system, receipt generation system, and all of that. But for me,
mm,
with just a Gmail account, I could automate the entire process. So yeah,
okay,
those are some of the areas.
okay. The one you mentioned right now, can you pen it down? Like the last one you mentioned right now, like uh, creating should I say school system with just a Gmail account. It feels normal to you, but hard for that to do. So, oh, okay. The next thing now is that okay, we have this theory question now. We have this particular one we picked out. We want to. There's something we call asset filter. So, what is asset filter? Is that before building, you must test this idea. Will it pass? Now, from the theory you mentioned, we want to look at okay, which one will pass this four question? Which is the first one? The first one is it painful? does this problem cause frustration or cost? Like looking at automation, what is the pain that people go through, like cost implication of it? Does it do we have any cost uh, implication attached to it if people does not solve that problem? So, and the second one, which is a skill gap, do we have any problem or frustration that is attached to it? The third one, which is the I want to record the third one. So that you mentioned, Mr. Rotimi.
Yeah, tech skills,
Okay,
automation.
test script automation. Which one of it really cause problem or frustration? Which is painful?
Yeah, I think the automation is where people spend a lot of money as a school. If you don't have the
Okay,
thing, you will eventually have to spend on it. So yeah, that's
okay,
the area where I think, yeah, that's the cost value to it. If you don't do it, you will spend a lot.
okay. Now the second question I want to ask regarding that is that have you solved it yourself? Like, have you done it for your own business before, you're for someone?
Yeah, I've done that before. I've actually used it I've used it to automate the first time I did it was in my school where I worked in Abuja. I used it to
Mm,
design a leave management system where you are able to
mm,
request for leave and then it will be approved, and it just requires a Gmail. I've also used it to help somebody that owns a tissue paper factory in Kefi, an entire tissue
okay.
paper factory from store to request from the factory to customer request to approval to invoice generation, all of that. I've been able to use that
Mm,
to help them
oh,
monitor and also keep track of inventories.
okay. The thought is that okay, can it be broken into steps that if you want to pass this, like you want to teach someone else, can it be broken into steps?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it can be broken down into steps. Yeah.
Okay. Now the fourth question is: will someone pay to speak to skip the figuring? Like they can pay to achieve this so that they will stop figuring it out.
Yeah, yeah. The companies that I've done it for, that particular one actually paid. They paid for it.
Okay. So now what we have now, okay, what we just do now is something we call asset filter. From the experience that you mentioned now, we've able to pick the one that has actually passed the test of uh what we call digital assets. So for a digital asset, it must solve a painful product, a painful frustration. Like it must solve a pain. If a product does not solve a pain, that is just let me just say that you are just it's an hobby. So you the person that wants to solve this particular problem must have done it, have that credibility. So must be from a lived experience. The third is that it can be broken into steps. That at the end of this, someone must actually able to do it by their own and achieve the result. And the fourth is, will someone pay to stop to skip the figuring out of that particular aspect of your experience? So if all this it is checked, that means that you have an asset within you, just that you don't know how to what. Sometimes you might not know that you have it. So, but right now, with this, you can actually dictate, okay, I have this particular experience with me. So those people in teams or on YouTube, try to do this for your own experience too. Pen it down, pick a particular one that is painful, that you've solved before, that can be broken into steps, and that someone can actually skip figuring it out. So after doing this, we'll move to the next one, which is we want to validate this particular product we know now. Okay, the product is that okay, using Gmail account to create an automation system Am I correct, Mr. Rotimi?
Yes, you're correct. You're correct.
Mhm. So, so now to validate, because it is very important to validate what you have. Because if you don't validate, an idea just feel exciting. So it is validation that make it valuable. So there are some questions you need to answer. So Mr. Rotimi, I will ask you this question based on what we just extracted out right now. So the first question is this particular uh, problem that you solve, who exactly is this for? Who do you think, okay, these are the most people that need it?
Okay, so coincidentally, before this session, I decided that next month for like 3 sessions, I'll be having a workflow webinar next month. 3 sessions for school owners and anyone who wants to run a
Mm,
business. So mostly because I play in the education space, but this I
mm,
would say schools and school owners can use this, or even small businesses. If you don't have the capital
mm,
to invest in tools. Good thing is AI has come, but this one has really nothing to do with AI to some extent. These
mm,
are things that are
mm,
um, so you have a Gmail is free, and so with that you can do
mm.
all of these things and that's what I would be doing next month. So this particularly will be very impactful for school owners, for small businesses that that wants to automate things.
Okay. Um, you know, specific is very important. Okay. Like the size of the school now, okay, is it a mid school or high school or primary school? Or the business owner you want to do, is it a mid-side or small scale? Which one the solution would be best for that won't be like a burden to them?
Yeah, it ranges from different levels. So if it's a mid-sized school, it works. If it is a big-sized school, it also works. And the bigger your school, it's also possible, however big your school is. It's just that the bigger the school, then you will need more hands and more flows to run. But yeah, from small to medium size, it would work. The company that I mentioned about had
Mhm,
over 70 staff, and they manage a very large factory. They produce zinc. They also produce tissue paper, actually. So it
mhm.
could go from maybe very small to medium sized businesses and school.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay. Can we use a staff size like to like okay maybe a school that have this total number of staff or that have this total number of population? Is this possible that way?
yeah, yeah, it's possible.
Okay. Okay. Can you pick a number? Like okay, this particular size number will be best for this solution will be best for them.
Uh, um, I think from as small as one to as large as 3 to 500 staff,
Okay.
you could do that. And
Okay.
even if you have a school that is above 1,000, you could still use this workflow solution at no cost for yourself.
Hmm. Okay. So we've picked one. Okay. School, mid-sized school that have a staff that is range from 1 to 500. Like the
Yep.
solution we are building, these are the people that is exactly for. So where are they? Where can we locate them? What I mean by this is that okay, which location do you want to target, and which platform this particular set of people can be located?
Yeah. Well, it's anywhere. It could be local, international. Um, yeah, so it could range from local, wherever there's a school, for example. I'm passionate
Mm,
about schools. So wherever there's a school,
mm,
whether it's in Nigeria or anywhere, so long as they have access to a Gmail account and
mm,
not maybe one or two people have access to internet, that's it.
mm,
So this solution
mm,
is strictly even for rural communities. If you have access to one laptop and internet, you can automate your entire process. Although it will depend on the access to technology, will also limit some of the things you can do. So, for example, if you have only one laptop, you can automate admission processes, invoicing
Mm,
processes, knowing that only one
mm,
person will be in charge of that. But if you want to
mm,
automate your report cards, communication of report
mm,
cards to parent and all of that,
mm,
then you
mm,
can't use one laptop because every teacher will need to key in their records. So
mm.
it's a function of the number of access to technology that you have, and so that's
Okay, okay. We can put it this way that okay, those people that we are targeting is that okay, these are mid-sized school that has staff ranging from 1 to 500 that are located in let me say uh, urban to rural. Let me say I don't want to use rural might not have that particular what's it called. So urban to high dense population city. Would that be okay?
yes, that's fine. That's fine.
Hello?
Yes, that will capture it.
Okay. 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 The next question for this validation is that what happened if they did not solve this? What will happen to their business if they did not solve this problem?
What I think would happen is they'll continue to maintain status quo. There will be no, it will be more cost if they will have to keep incurring cost. Um, but with
Mm,
this sort of solution, they won't have, it's easier for them to automate completely, and they won't even have to keep paper copies of anything, student records. I've actually worked with a school where every student file was digitized by this process,
mm,
and they don't keep
yeah,
any physical copy anymore. Lesson plan, admission letter, files of students, everything digitized. And so the cost of maintaining filing, printing, buying files and all of that, cabinets and all of that is completely off. So if a school doesn't do this, for example, they will keep the old ways. Paper will tear, documents will be missing, and all of that. So those are some of the costs that they will continue
mm,
to incur, apart from the fact that they will also be considered as a school that is not meeting up with the standards and the times that we are in.
mm. So we can put it this way that okay, it's my it we what they will, if they did not solve the problem is that do we keep on incurring high cost where they will be missing the profit margin of their in their business. Can we say so?
Yeah, relatively, yes.
No. So that is this system helps them to cut down cost and make them more profitable.
Yes,
Can we say so? Mhm.
yes,
So now one thing now that we're able to do is that okay, we know those people that we want to target, which is a mid-sized school that have a staff between 1 to 500. So they are located within urban to high densely populated area. That means that okay, ranging from Abuja, Nasarawa, all those are our target area. So and what happen if they don't solve this is that they will keep incurring cost. That is, this system can actually help them to reduce cost and increase their profitability. So that is with that, we know what the end goal of what we want to do for them to help them to increase costs and reduce to increase their profitability. Now, the last question on this validation is: has someone asked you before about it? We've mentioned it, like we've done it. You've already told me that. No need of repeating the question again. So now someone has already asked you before. So that we won't take much of the time. So people in the that are following through, please let us spend our own experience too. Let us do this validation question for our own experience and let us pick the one that we think, okay, this thing is being validated. We can actually achieve something out of this. For instance, now with Mr. Rotimi experience, we are we are we want to build a product out of it today. Now, the next thing is packaging. So, because now we know the product we want to build, We know the process, we know everything. But how do we want to package this thing for those people that want to consume our products? Now, Mr. Rotimi, we have one, two, three, four. Of I just spent down five common type of product that we can actually create out that is generally common. So, and we I will mention each one of them, what it stands for, and we look at okay, this particular product that we mentioned now, which one will be best. So the first one is a checklist. A checklist is itemized step that someone needs to do to achieve a result. So that is number one. Template. Template is something you are using to achieve a particular result that someone else can just copy and use without them what restarting the process again. So guide. Guide is step by step way of you guiding people to like okay, step by step system that you are using to achieve a desirable result that of a particular of this solution that we mentioned. So mini course a set of lesson modules that can be combined together that will achieve the desirable result that we want them to achieve. And the challenge is set of control days that you use to achieve a desirable result that someone else too can actually use to achieve that result. So, Mr. Rutimi, from what we mentioned right now, which one do you think would be the best form for you to package this particular experience?
I think it would be guide and mini course. Um,
Guide and mini course.
yeah,
Guide and mini course. So that's the best. That's the perfect. What is it called? Uh, perfect product. Perfect product we can actually build. So the next one is the the other one can actually serve as a way of even promoting the product, like the checklist. Okay, for a product to I'm coming. Let me I want to okay. Apology for the so Mr. Rotimi, the one we are picking is guide and mini course. So you pick one. Let us pick mini course. We can just build a course outline and just design a one video course on it. So the next one is okay. We structure our offer statement because if you don't know how you want to put out that statement, people might actually not know what they want to achieve. So now we know those people we are serving and the result we want them to achieve and the pain we want to remove. So, and what is those people is that okay, I help mid school, so mid mid-sized school located in urban region area. So, and the result we want to achieve is that to help them to reduce costs and increase profitability through automation. So, what is the pain that they would normally go through to achieve that? Is that okay? They will pay for high software or even the cost that they will incur without paying for high software or monthly subscription. Mr. Rotimi, do you get that offer statement?
yes, yes, I do.
So I help mid-sized school that is located in what in urban region area to achieve uh, to help we help them to achieve high profitability and reduce costs without them paying through automation, without them paying what's it called high cost on monthly subscription for a software. We can compact it. So, Mr. Rotimi, hope we are achieving something.
Yeah, yeah, we are. Yeah, we are.
So, so now the next thing. before we build any product is to know, okay, what will be the pricing and what will be the selling model? How do you want to sell this particular product? And how much did I want to sell it? Now, the question I want to ask, Mr. Rotimi, based on the industry, uh, you know the industry, what you've been doing. Like, how much do you think that okay, would this would be a minimum amount that a mid-sized school will be able to pay? That won't be that they would think that okay, this is very cheap for me to achieve. To achieve this, this is very cheap. So, which amount do you think would be a very minimum one to do?
I think the best way I would go about this is to also, like you mentioned, break them into parts, and people
Mm,
can choose which service they want to
mm,
onboard into. Whether it's the
mm,
admission, whether it's the finance part, whether it's the impressed management or finance management, or
mm,
whether it's admissions, whether it's
mm,
communications to
mm,
parent or report cards. And if you want a
mm,
collection of all of that, so I think pricing them, because it's majorly one time setup and then together
mm,
with the training, but there will also be support. So I think it will vary
mm,
based on first is the number of services, two is also the size of the organization, and then
mm.
the services that they require. So
Okay.
I can't really put prices to it right now because this is putting me on the spot.
Not too, I understand. I
But I
understand.
think, yeah,
I,
I think it's something that can be priced. And as a matter of principle, my three keywords is affordability, accessibility, and availability. So I
mm,
would always uh, provide services that grants people an access level so that a lot of people are not disenfranchised from such services.
mm, mm,
Some people
yeah,
target the premium, that's their market,
mm,
target market. But for me, I look at opportunities to provide such services to schools or to clients that might not be able to afford that top level, and that's the
top
market
level.
approach that I have.
Mm, okay. So, okay, let us put it this way. Uh, from the part you mentioned, which one do you think, okay, this cut across, like, it is very important for for a school to have? No, we talk about, okay, we can automate finances, report, record, lesson plans, and which one do you think, okay, it is very important
I think for
for a
me,
school to have
yeah, for me, I think the admission process is very necessary.
admission?
And then, yeah, because with that, you can keep a track of the number of people that showed interest in your school, the number of people that you eventually were able to get into the school, and then from that you can build uh, everything from there. So I think admissions process is critical for a
Mm,
school to have. Uh,
okay. Okay. Let us say, okay, the automation, the workflow targeted, what's it called? Admission process, like automating admission process. Because the reason for this is that, okay, the more specific you are, the more you'll be able to hit the right audience you want to hit. And you can actually make what you want to make. So, we don't want to mention price, but you know the price that you can actually put that will be general for everyone. So, people that are with us, kindly do this for your own experience to what you are doing. So pick a particular price point for your own experience too. So and to know which part of it that you want to monetize. So the next thing is now we know the price point. We won't mention it on here. So we know the price point. The next thing that a lot of professionals find difficult is selling that particular product. So and I find to even theory way to sell very sell anything you have easily. The first one is direct to warm audience. If you have people that are already asking you question about it, it's just for you to leverage those people and what sell direct to them. Like, okay, this thing you asked me about, I'll package it as a course. This is what. what I want to do for you. The next one is focus masterclass, then present your offer. Now, maybe okay, you know those people you are targeting now, mid-size school. You organize a little masterclass on the importance of automation to show them how they are losing cost in their automation. And you present the offer of that, your maybe the course you, the guide, or even the services. That is the second way. Third way, that is what we call adversarial copy, and you you guide them, like you train them on a particular aspect of it, and you present your offer. I will show an example here right now of what we call adversarial uh, short form. Git dot online. So of what we call adversarial copy. I think I have one right here. So Mr. Rotimi, which one do you think would be the best for your audience?
Mm. Yeah, I think it's going to be the focus masterclass.
Okay, focus masterclass. So because we know the audience that we are targeting, we know our offer, we know what we want to achieve. Now, the reason why focus masterclass will be the best is that okay, you can actually get those tons of people that they are that they have that pain right now. You can actually get them at once, and you know, okay, this is a particular amount I want to generate from this. It is easy for you to know. Once you put your masterclass, you do it very well, and it is easy for you to upsell people to your offer. I want to show something we call adversarial. So copy. So that one is, I think I have one on a particular LinkedIn, something that I built. Okay, this is it. This is example of what we call adversarial copy. So it is just it train people on how to do this, but on your solution. So and beneath it, you now set them to your offer. So this is an example of adversarial copy. So Mr. Rutimi, now we have a product from your experience. We know the offer. We know people we are targeting. We know how to what to structure it and upset them. So the next thing is execution. And the problem that we do have that a lot of people have this, and a lot of people follow us up to here. But the problem is that a lot of people stop here. They don't build the idea and they don't execute. And if you don't execute, you won't be able to what? To even convert that your experience into a digital asset. So the next thing now is for us to build the product. But Mr. Rutimi, the highest to like I think my session is 1 hour.
Yeah, you can extend by another 10 minutes. That's fine.
Okay, 10 minutes. Okay.
All right, let's do 15. That's fine.
Okay. Let us just build one out of those products. Now we know the product now. We know the service. So before I proceed, I want to know if we have question from those people that are following. So regarding their own product before we start building.
Yeah. For now, I can't see any question online. On Teams, if you have question on Teams, you can raise your hands. I could pick that up, or you could just leave it in the chat. That would be fine too. But
Okay.
for now, there are no questions.
So let us build a product. And what are we using to build this product is before gonna do that we disturb ourselves in building product. Right now, what we'll be using for this is just ChatGPT and what and hygiene. Hygiene is a platform that we use to create that I use to create courses. So and that is what we'll be using. So from my ChatGPT, I have a trained ChatGPT that I use for creating products. So now I'm coming. Let me. on my ChatGPT. Okay, AI assets for me. So now I have a prompt here that's um, so apology. So okay, so I want to copy out the prompt. So now this is the prompt that we'll be using. I will drop this prompt so that we can actually do it on our own too. So and I will share the link to the GPT so that we can actually use it to build our own. So this is our prompt. So and what is the prompt? I want you to act as an expert online course designer. Create a detailed course outline for so who are the audience, uh, mid-size school. So located in urban to high density, densely populated area that have a staff that range from 1 to 500. So, hope I'm still correct, Mr. Rotimi, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. So, what do you want to teach is that okay, um, that's G, using is it Gmail, right?
yeah. Just a single Gmail.
To okay, using a single Gmail to automate their admission process. So in a practical engagement, okay. So let us reduce. Okay, let's say okay, the modules we want maybe 5 to 8 modules is okay, or we can short it.
Yeah, 5 to 8 is fine.
So and 3 to 5 lesson in each module is okay. So okay, so we click on our prompt. So the title that our ChatGPT gave is income to enrollment. Is that correct? Can we use that kind the title like that
You can change it.
and change it? Yeah.
Yeah,
So subtitle: How size urban school can automate admission using just one Google Gmail account without expensive software or IT teams. I think is this
yeah,
okay?
yeah, yeah.
So, and what is the course promise transformation? By the end of this course, school owner, administrator, and admission staff will be able to build a fully automated admission system using a single Gmail account, Workspace tools, and AI-powered automation. So, and they will be able to learn, capture inquiries automatically, respond to parents instantly, organize application without spreadsheet chaos, automate follow-ups and reminder, schedule interview and entrance exam, track applicant for inquiry to enrollment, reduce manual staff workload to by up to 70%, create a professional admission experience without expensive CRM system. This particular transformation, is it correct?
Yeah, it is.
Mhm. This course is specifically designed for mid-sized school, 1 to 500 staff, located in urban or densely populated area where admission volume is high and speed matters. So, so what would be the course format? Video lessons, screen share walkthrough, downloadable template, Gmail automated built-in blueprint, Google Sheet dashboard, AI prompt package, ready to use email templates, automation uh, SOPs, bonus mini workshop. So this format, is it correct that way?
Yeah, it is.
So let us just pick module one. So before we, because it will extend to module eight. So module one, okay, building the modern admission machine. So learning object understand how modern school automate admission using simple tool and why Gmail can become the center of entire enrollment. So look at lesson one. Look at the lesson. Is it? Can we build something around this?
Yeah, yep, yeah. Yes, we can.
Okay. Okay. So now we have a module. I will just use the module one and that's lesson one to just practicalize this session. So now we have a module one and learning lesson one. So the next thing is to what we have a second prompt here that we will use to create a script for our training. So what we just do is copy this outline, this prompt. So the next thing we do is that we will copy this outline, we copy it to a Google Sheet and attach it to this particular prompt. So let's just say, okay, from the prompt you generated, instead of attaching course outline you generated. Okay, write a full word-to-word narration for module module one, module one, and lesson Y. So just let's go. So this is a okay, building the modern admission machine. Lesson one: why most school admission system fail. Can we? We don't have much time, but let us let us turn this into a course using hygiene. Mr. Rotimi.
Yeah, yeah. Let's proceed.
Mhm. So okay, what we just do is that we copy this out. We copy this particular script. We copy this particular script. So it has an action plan. So we copy it out. Now the next thing we do, we go to hygiene. Do we all know hygiene?
Yeah, I do. Maybe a few people might not, but I do. I know IG.
Hygiene is what we use. We will use just type HEYGE. They have if you want to enjoy hygiene very well, you need to subscribe to the premium package. So and that is around 29 dollars. So because I'm using premium package, the basic package you'll be able to create a video that is not up to I think 3 minutes per video, and it will have a watermark that will show that okay you created it using hygiene. So, but right now I have a paid version of it that I'm using to create a course for people. So, and what we do is that you can create an avatar of yourself with this. But what we want to achieve with this is that we want to create a course. So, and those course we want to be like a kind of voiceover, or we can actually put a face to it. We can clone ourselves. But today is not an hygiene session. So I will just walk us through on how to create a course with this. So what we do is that okay, you come over here, click on avatar. The next thing you want to pick is presentation to PDF to video. So, and you what? You generate a presentation instead of using Gamma to generate presentation. So you just come here. That content you copy. I want you to vet the content very well. We are just creating something here, so I want you to vet it very well to know if it is correct or you need to add something to it. So, so what we just do is just we paste it here. Once we do this, so we can give a little instruction that okay, ensure you use a Nigerian. Okay, ensure. Okay, let's just go. So continue. We want to be a minimal. So that's the next thing. Who our audience meet mid-size school owner located in highly in urban to highly densely populated area, so that have staff ranging from 1 to 500. So how do we, the tone we want to be a professional. Okay, language English. So additional instruction: ensure you use Nigeria images and images. Okay, okay, and use. You can determine your color. What are your color and some other thing like that. Use the okay well structure. Okay, so that uniformity. Let's speak. Okay, blue. Use blue. Okay, let's put it this way. So let's just give it this way. Now, the next thing is, do you want to add an avatar? We can actually add an avatar. So avatar is something that will be showing like if we can clone our picture there if you want to use our picture. We can actually put our video picture there. So this is an avatar here. So I don't want to use someone picture that I clone here, but you can actually clone your picture. Let's say okay, we want to use a maybe looking for a dark guy. So okay, let's just pick one for now. Let's say we want to use this, but ensure that the avatar you are using is very it's talk to the people you are targeting. Let's say this one. So so this is the avatar we want to use. So the next thing is you create presentation. So it is creating this presentation, adding the final slide, analyzing your product prompt. Mr. Rotimi,
Yep.
hope we are
Yeah, we're fine.
uh
You can continue.
okay. I just want to get that.
Yeah,
So
you
we just create this lesson. So we just want to create this lesson one. So we, so it's analyzing our prompt, creating it. A little what we do use before is that we go to idea gamma to create presentation and send it here. But right now, Hygiene has already built a presentation and PDF that you can actually generate that presentation direct from their platform and it turned to a course. So is that hygiene is another training on its own that is for educator, it is kind of tool that we need to know how to use. So it is very important for course creation and some other thing. So we can edit this. So you edit the presentation. So it's preparing our video. So depending on the time it prepare the videos. So I don't know if people still have if there's question that people want to ask regarding this.
Is that the hygiene that is singing that song?
It's not hygiene. It is a place that that it is not hygiene. This is a general uh, northern part ice cream truck. Okay, hygiene is loading. Any questions so far on the team or platform?
Okay. All right.
So
So while we wait for the course to generate, if we have questions, somebody on YouTube is asking how do they access the video. The video will be available on YouTube. It's a live stream, so it will be saved and you'll be able to access it on YouTube. We probably might not. We might do some editing, but once it is available, it will be on YouTube. And if you register for the webinar, you would also get an email with the detailed links and links to the resources also. I'll be asking Mr. Kadri to send us the slide
slide.
deck, and it will be available. You will get a link where you can download it, and then together with that email will come the link to the YouTube video.
So now with
All right.
right
So somebody is
now,
asking if this
since we
tool is
are
free.
just building up,
Someone is asking
eh?
if
Is
someone
this
is
what?
asking if the tool is free. Is the
No,
tool
we have a free version of it. And we have the free version of it and we have a paid version of it. The free version, I think, let us go through pricing so you will see. I think we have the pricing here, pricing plan, so that we see how it's okay. This is the free. You can create one video a month, video up to 30 minutes, one custom digital twin, standard video processing, 500 stock photo avatar, 720 video export, and something like that. Why for creator, which is the one I'm using, you can create unlimited video. So video up to 30 minutes. So for someone that want to create course, that want to be creating course, the best thing you can do is just to subscribe to the creator. But if you just want to create one video, is it my network? Okay, this is voice. Okay. So we apply to all the things, all things. To make it more interesting, we can add our effects. We can add our effects. So this. So let's say okay to reduce fiction. Let's say 1 minute, 1.2 seconds, and we apply it to all scenes. So we have our we have so so so. So the next thing is to generate. So we can actually play it out to see how it looks like from beginning. Okay, let's start from beginning.
Um, are we able to also download this
So
and that's part of the resources that will be sent to people? That would be good.
yes, we can download it. I can send it across.
Okay.
So I will put it in a drive. I will share the drive link with you.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
I will okay. What I'll be sending across the prompt that I use, prompt I use, the link to the GPT that I use,
Did you
the
make the GPT
this
yourself, or it's a
video.
free GPT? Is a GPT that is available, or it's your own GPT?
Yes, yes. Okay, no, it's a free GPT.
Okay.
Available. No, it is available generally.
Okay. All right.
So it's available. So I will share it. I'll share the link and and the presentation of the session. I don't know so that it won't
Yeah, we
kill away
can
my
you can move
our time.
somewhere since we'll be getting the
So
video. That
let's
that's good.
just generate it.
Since we'll be getting the video, we don't have to wait for
Mhm.
it to play. I think
So
there's a delay.
what we just demonstrate now is okay from extracting. Mhm. What we just do right now is creating something from your experience, from extraction to a product, from your own experience. So, and a lot of professionals have a certain experience that they can monetize. Right now, we know those people we want to target, we know what we are building, and we know the solution we are providing. And we know even know how we want to sell it. So a lot of professionals have this particular issue that how can I extract it. So with this, I want to leave with a parting statement is that I'm coming up. So what I want to say now is that as a professional, what you just do now is just to demonstrate. You can actually do this more, go through the presentation again and try to look at what you can actually monetize in your experience. So, Mr. Rotimi, once again, I want to appreciate you for giving this platform to talk to professional, and uh, and I think I was able to do justice to the presentation. So, thank you, Mr. Rotimi.
Yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate this. And on behalf of every one of us, I want to thank you for taking out the time and um, showing your willingness to impact the community with what you have and what you know. We are greatly encouraged, and we want to thank you for that opportunity. I appreciate, and I'm looking at working more with you. There will be more sessions. I can guarantee you that. I would find time to call you so we can see areas where we can collaborate and then move the community forward. I would also want
Thank you.
to really just know more about what you do and how you do the things that you do. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Um, I think
Thank you.
you can still stay. I just want to, I think we have like 30 to 35 minutes left. What I intend to do in the next, say, 37 minutes is to also just ride off on the back of what Kadri has shared with us to say that, like I mentioned earlier, you have lived experiences that AI cannot replace. And the best thing to do is to see how you can structure it, because structure gives value. We all come from a society where everybody likes packaging. Packaging, even if what is inside is fake, packaging has a way of adding value. How much more will it add more value when you have the substance and then you are able to structure it and package it well and be able to, deliver it. Some of us we do home lessons and all of that. This might be a way for you to step up your home lesson and be able to charge more. When you design stunning, amazing courses online and you give it to the parents, you show the parents, okay, this is what you will study before next week, and they can see all the videos, voiceovers, presentation neatly done, professionally done. They will know that you are adding value, and I can tell you that that will be one way for you to increase your prices. Why? Because you are actually improving and adding value to people. I made a post for the past I'd had a series of posts on LinkedIn now, and it's focusing on the fact that when more and more people have access to the same tool, outputs will most likely begin to look alike. AI is the new average. And so, how do you rise above that average? The only way that you can rise now is with your lived experience, is with your lived experience, your years of experience that AI cannot take away. Your The fact that you've been in the field, you know your children, you know your students. AI can give us general answers to how do you resolve or how do you support a challenging child. But he has never been in the class to know how to really handle that child. And that is the area that is the new gold now. That is the new moat. That is the new niche that you can carve for yourself. Things that AI cannot do. You can never produce a lesson plan as quickly as AI, but you can produce a lesson plan together with AI that will leverage your years of experience, your practicality, the things that the industry knowledge and the domain knowledge that you have that AI might not have. AI can have all the data. To AI, everything is classified. Data is zeros and ones. But human beings are not zeros and ones. The experiences you have within those classrooms, they are not zeros and ones. And that is where you need to leverage on. And that's what you need to bring to the table together with the tools that is available to everyone now. So one of the ways you can structure your your income or your experience is what I want to quickly talk about, and that will be I'm going to share my screen in a moment. Let me just do a few things, a few settings on my side, and then I would see if I can share my screen. Just give me a moment. This Okay, I think I'll piggyback on your own screen. Are you still sharing your screen? No, right?
No, I've stopped sharing.
Okay, let me bring this up, and then I would share my screen. Just give me a moment. Let me let me bring my screen. I would hope that you will be able to see my screen. Okay, no, not this one. All right. So can you all see my screen? Can you see
Yes.
my screen? All right. So um, we'll be looking at LinkedIn. This is one practical place that you can start off with because it's a platform for professionals, actually. It's not just a platform for any kind of user. It's a platform for professionals. And that's why it will be a good place for you to start. Uh, it will be a very good place for you to start with whatever you want to do. Let me just adjust my screen. I'll be sorry. All right. So LinkedIn provides you that platform where you are able to structure and repackage your experiences. We had a session like 4 weeks ago with Chidima where she elaborated about LinkedIn. But I thought it would be a good opportunity to get people to actually go in and revamp their LinkedIn. So what I did, and I post this in the community, was that I created, I gave everybody, um, I posted a document in in the group, and I gave a task and as like an assignment that we should all go in and try to see how we can build our profile. So this is a ready-made prompt and engagement that would help you structure from ground up your LinkedIn profile. I would share this with us, but I want to quickly just go through the process with us so that you are able to leverage on it. There are about 9 steps of each, and they would, first of all, you would upload your CV, and then you will get it to give you the LinkedIn brief. It will create a first draft for you, and then a final draft. It will also analyze your CV to get your writing styles, and then create another replica of your CV, another copy of your CV that you want to do. You can also ask it top 5 skills. It would also prompt you. You can prompt it to go online to search for things about you, and then update the document, and then you can do series of corrections. So the first thing will be to upload your CV. So you could use ChatGPT. You could use any of the large language model. I use Claude, and you can also use Claude. It's fine. So we're going to go through quickly. I will just walk us through, and then I will show us what we need to do. So first is before AI builds anything, it has to prove it has understood the source. So read in full, confirm content. Again, all of the prompts are here, and so I'm going to copy it, and the prompt says I'm going to give you walk through a structured career profile building process with you. I have uploaded a CV. Do not begin building anything yet. Read my CV in full, confirm you have read it, and give me a brief summary of what you found and all of that. So we'll copy that and then just open any of the LLMs and paste it inside. And then I would try to see if I can upload my CV. So I'll add my CV. Let's look if I have this certificate. I had that CV before. Okay, let's use this one. So I'll upload my resume. And then once it is uploaded, you send it. Okay, so the instruction is clear there. This is the first thing you will do. Then while he's doing that, let's just go through the next thing. So the next thing is that this is this prompt. The next thing is best practice. We want to get it because the target is that we're trying to revamp our LinkedIn profile. So we want it to do a few things for us. So 11 section the brief must cover. So I'll say a comprehensive guide to high impact profile, headline about experience, skill, feature, recommendation, and more. The framework the next stage will build. So what we would be doing is we'll be asking it to get us the standard procedure of LinkedIn. So before building my LinkedIn present a comprehensive best practice guide for setting up a high impact LinkedIn profile. So we would get it to all of the prompts are there. So I'm going to copy the prompts. Okay, let me just copy it one by one so that it doesn't. Let's look at the summary of what he gave us. So he's still writing. It gives details of what he learned from my CV and all of that. Now you're putting your CV. If you have different, I know a lot of us sometimes because we apply for different kinds of position, we might have different versions of our CV. You can upload all of them and let it analyze. You can ask it to, I'm uploading multiple CVs, kindly analyze, synthesize, and harmonize all of them, and then get me your response, and it will do that. So what prompted we've copied this last, let me copy this one again and just add all of them one by one. So go back. So it's going to build a LinkedIn profile based on that. You just need to copy the prompt and then use it, and you would see what you will do. So the prompt will be given to you, and let's see what I ask you to do. Before building my LinkedIn profile, present a comprehensive best practice guide for setting up a high impact LinkedIn profile. Cover every one of these area: profile, headline, about section, experience. So it would structure out best practices of what you want, how LinkedIn should look, and it is going to structure it out for you. Then the next thing will now be that it should use your CV, information from your CV to craft that professional profile, covering every step or every section of it. So you're asking it to act as a professional. It's been trained with the best of information. So it goes into LinkedIn, looked at how it's the best way to structure it. In fact, if there are people that you like their profile on LinkedIn, you can get the link and ask it to reference those people and it will see the structure. So it's going to build it for you. And from here, you can begin to copy. But before you copy, uh, you can there are some other things I would like you to do. I would like you to optimize it because it's using the information on my CV. I would like you to optimize it. And if that's not enough, if I know I have some resources online, I can ask you to go online and search for those resources and update as much. So profile photo and banner image, headline, search plus first impression, about section, experience, education certificate. So it's structuring how the best practices of how you should set up your LinkedIn profile. So after that is done, while that is done, so that we can quickly go, I would scroll back. LinkedIn profile final draft. Here am I. So it's going to ask you, part of it is that it should analyze, rate the profile. I ask it to rate the profile out of 100 with honest breakdown of what is strong and what is limiting. So it has looked at my CV and structured out based on the best practices in LinkedIn and try to use my CV to build that structure. But then I ask it to rate on a scale of 1 to 100 and then list exactly the information that is missing that could raise the score. Do not add anything that is not in my CV. I don't want it to cook up story. You want it to look at your CV, use your CV to build that uh, professional structure, but then rate it and then suggest what is missing. Don't ask it to add what is missing because you want to be true with what you are providing. Generate targeted questions for me to answer, organize into these categories, number of, so it would generate questions. And so let's see if those questions are there now. So it's scoring it, and then it's going to generate those questions. So these are all sections of what he wants to put on LinkedIn. Okay. All right. While that is going on, let's just rush through this. So first draft with a score is going to score it on a scale of 1 to 100. And you can do this over and over again. Ask it. So if he scores it 70, you tell it, what can I do to get it to 90? He asks you questions. You're not satisfied with, you can keep asking it to keep scoring it until you've gotten to the point where you are satisfied. And it will ask you questions. You can tell it to critique and ask you questions that are relevant to be able to build your, okay, it's crafting your LinkedIn profile now. So it has given you the breakdown of the best practices, best practice guideline. Now it's building it based on your profile. Here is your full interactive deliverable question for you. 17 targeted questions across 4 categories. Ready to share my answer when you are ready. So it tells me you need to tap ready to share my answer when I am ready. Let's see, it's still building. The score can realistically, what is the score? Okay, so you can drop down, you will see every things that minimum recommendation 5. So it's put all of the profile and everything that needs to be done. So let's say, where is it ready to provide my answer? Okay, questions for you. Score and gaps. So this is my score, 74. Best practice, it lists the best practice. My LinkedIn profile, it has built it. Look at my LinkedIn profile that it built. Claude is providing this subsection, but ChatGPT might not do that. So this is the best practices. This is my LinkedIn profile that he just built about me. You see all of this, he put it there, 6 campuses, 9 countries, featured YouTube channel, AI for Education conference. Then he broke down my experiences and structured it based on my CV and everything. Now, let's look at what he rated that. So the rating is 74. Headline quality 18/20. Skill competence 8/10. Certification and education 10/10. Measurable impact. Remember, impact is important. People want to know what you've been able to do, what you've been able to achieve. Measurable impact. Community and brand presence. So 3/10. And then gives the reason why all of that. Now, I asked you to give me questions. So here are 17 questions. And then what is the approximately annual IT budget for the group? I answer all of that. I've actually gone through this. I answered all of that. So once you are able to provide those answers, then you move on to the next thing. You provide those answers, then the next will be, you would have to do this because of time. I will not provide all of those answers because of time. So let's go back to so the next thing will be, you provide the answer, give me an updated rating. After the answer is provided, the next one will be, here are my answers to your question. Let me expand this. Here are my answers to your question. Now, I want you to rebuild the profile in full, incorporating everything I've just told you. Every number, achievement, and details must appear in the right place, headline, about, section, and all of that. Present the updated profile as clear, fully formatted visual. So when done, give me an updated rating. So it's still going to rate it again. I want it to rate it again. It will rate it. Now, once it has finished rating it, then the next thing is, we want it to capture your writing style, and so that there's a feel of who you are in that CV. So I want you to go back to your CV. And then if you have some other articles and things that you have written, you can upload it as well, so that this is properly captured and there is no There's no ambiguity about what is happening there. That is properly captured. I think it's necessary for us to do that so that if there are anything missing, so that there will be that authenticity. Is what I'm. There will be that authenticity in what you are presenting. So go back, read the original CV I uploaded at the very start of the discussion before any of the work together. Analyze the writing and present your findings. Score each of the following dimension out of 10 and explain. So it would break that down, clarity, impact proof, and maybe I'll show you the one that I did when we go through. Then the final thing will now be it has, remember here, it has done your LinkedIn final draft, then analyze your writing. So sorry, this is, it would analyze your writing, then it will now produce a fresh version of your CV, because we want it to build everything all over again. Before you build anything, present your plan for the final CV and wait for my approval. Again, everything is going to be based on your approval. You're supposed to read it and do all of that. So you have a final PDF and Word document of your CV. You have a final LinkedIn draft. You can go further ahead to so this is part of my personal one. I will take this out. I ask it to also look at structure things that I've done online, focus on skills in my role, and highlight those skills. If I've not properly captured them out, highlight it, and then in the end, go online, research about me, then produce what you find. If there are things that I have done that are footprints of what I have done online that is not captured in my CV, then produce that. It goes online, finds that, then eventually I ask it to update the documents with the new information, both what it found online and all of that. So it's going to update this LinkedIn profile and then my CV and build everything finally. If there are corrections and amendments, you can also go through the correction and amendment processes. So when all of this is done, you have three things. You have everything you need to structure your profile on LinkedIn. And secondly, you would have a fresh CV in Word and PDF format. And this is something that you can use. So what I would do now is I would show you the finished product of what it did with mine. So let's just go through the whole process again, and I will just show us how. So this is not something that it is something that I walked through and used it for myself, so that it's and I would now show you how you can begin to then pick them up and update your LinkedIn profile. I might not update everything for now, but I'll copy and just show you how you can copy and paste it. So I updated my two resume, and then it looked at the gap analysis, evaluated everything. So I had two, my wife's and mine, but I wanted to just focus on my own self, on specifically overlapping dates. So you notice the overlapping dates in my job scope. One question before I produce the LinkedIn best practice framework has already been so, and then I ask you to proceed because I did it first for my wife, and then I did it for myself, and ask you to just use the same framework, and then it produced this, reframed everything. I asked it to also go through my CV and my writing style, and let's see some of the things that it picked up from my writing style. So it looked at it first. It was 71 over 100. What scored well? What is missing? Team size, budget responsibility, AI conference details, student, school population, specific countries. Here are some of the questions. So gave me all of the questions, and then I provided the answer here, and then it incorporated everything and provided this. So Once I'm satisfied with it, although I wasn't, because there was nothing on TTC there. I went after the second review, it was now 91. And then I saw all of this. Then I asked it to analyze my writing profile on my original CV and look at the thing. Clarity, my CV was not clear. Impact and evidence, very poor. Consistency in my writing, also very poor. Voice and personality, also very poor. Professional tone, 5/5. And so it looked at the strengths and the weaknesses of that original CV and then core structural problems, even tense and grammar inconsistencies, and all of that. Duty versus achievement, same problem at a different scale. So, original, duty, least focused. Rewritten, achievement and scale focus. See, when I wrote my CV, it was more of duty, list, duty, things I did, lead, coordinate, develop and implement, coach teachers. But here now, rewritten with achievement and focus. Lead a team of 20 IT professionals across 18 campuses in 12 countries. That shows the weight of what you're actually doing. Managing an IT budget of $200,000, coaches, classroom teachers. So that's the way it represented everything that I have given it. So it is very important that we note this as we proceed with what we're doing. So that's a good thing to note, in order we as we go about this same process. Sorry, there's a okay. All right, so building both Word and PDF document that was built from scratch, and then looked at top 5 skills in my current role, highlighted those, and gave me a 5. And then I saw some errors, did some correction, and then now rebuilding the LinkedIn profile with the correct figures. And this is the final LinkedIn profile. Once you have this, then you can open your LinkedIn and just update accordingly. Your experience, you have the About Me section, you will have the Experience section, you would have all of your experience, and then you have the Education section, this license and certification section. There's also the Skills section where you can add a few of the skills that it will propose to you. So this is a task that we all should do. Then I went it and told it, go online and search for anything you know about Tech Enabled Teachers Conference and all of that. Post links of the things you do. You can post link of your YouTube channel if you do have, and all of the things you do online, and let it help you put those things in proper perspective when it comes to you being able to present what you are doing professionally. And then I searched online, got all of those, and eventually I asked it to update. So it updates the LinkedIn profile with it. So I have the final draft of my LinkedIn profile. I can copy this now and add it to my LinkedIn. So this is your first way of structuring what you're currently doing, and that's beneficial for you because this is one of the way you can structure your experience, just as Mr. Quadri has told us. Packaging is important. We are Nigerians, most of us, and we know what people can do with packaging. So if people that have no content are packaging themselves, what about you as an educator that have the right content? And that's where I want to leave us with the task. For those of us that are in the community, once you've done this, the game is then post your LinkedIn profile and let people follow you, and then you can follow them back. That is how we build our network. The reason is that once I'm connected to you, then and you are connected to me, some things that I post you can see it, and people within your network can also see it, and that way we build our networks together. Maybe one day your boss might see what I posted and say, "Oh, I like this guy. I can get can I get can I get um can I get him an interview in our office?" one of the speakers of the conference that we'll be having was, I found him because somebody that I know on LinkedIn is follows him, and I reach out to the person that I like this guy. Can you link me up with him so that I can bring him up for the conference? And that was how that connection is made. LinkedIn is a professional community, and I want you to leverage on that. So all of this will be posted, and you'll get an email to get this document and to get this particular slides. The document is pretty simple to use. Just copy the prompt, paste it, and follow the different stages, and you'll be able to arrive at something that you'll be proud of. If you do not have a LinkedIn account, please go and get a LinkedIn account. It's very necessary for you to do that. If you don't have, get a LinkedIn account, create it, and set it up. So we'll begin to count down here. If there are questions. Okay, somebody's asking if I used Claude or did I use Claude or did I use... yeah, I am using Claude. You don't have to use Claude. You could use ChatGPT. If you are using ChatGPT, I would advise you to use Canva. Canva will give you the ability to also edit the output. Each one of them have different way of presenting their own output. So that's one question that I got on Facebook, on YouTube. Is anybody on Teams having questions? If you're on YouTube and you have questions, please feel free to ask your questions. If not, we will just begin to call it a day here. Thank you all for today. Any other person? Do you have any question? All right. So one more thing that I would like to share with us is, let me see if I can pull that up. I hope I still have it. So come August, we'll be having our TWTS conference. I want to bring it up so we can all see it. Let me just... Sorry. So we'll be having a TWTS conference. It's going to be in Abuja. There will be 2 tracks. This is the 3rd edition. First one was online. Second one last year was hybrid at International Community School Abuja, and then online. But there were 2 tracks: higher education and primary and secondary, happening on the same day. But this time around, so that planning is much easier and so that we can focus and get the best impact from the program, what we're doing is we're separating the higher education and the primary and secondary. So the higher education, the primary and secondary would take place on 7th and 8th of August. Registration is open. Publicity starts in earnest by by Monday. There are going to be 16 speakers, 16 to 18 speakers. I'm yet to get confirmation from 2. 16 to 18 speakers for the primary and secondary, and then around 8 to 9 speakers for this higher education. The higher education is going to be fully online, and it's going to be 2 weeks after. So the higher education will be on 22nd of August. Publicity is also up for both of them. For the primary and secondary, for physical attendees, there will be free transportation from Area 1, Duse Junction, and Lugbe FHA Bridge. There will also be a light refreshment because the conference is from 9 to 6. So we would be trusting that there will be some form of refreshment. So please register. The link to register will also be part of the emails you will get. It would also be in the community. If you've not joined the community, please do so. Join the community. The speaker lineup for the higher education will be coming out starting from next week. But this is so far the speaker lineup for the K to 12. As I mentioned during this training today, during this session today, next week I think about 3 sessions next month, sorry, 3 sessions. I'll be having a process automation web series with school owners. Anyone that wants to participate, you can join. It's free, and we'll be looking at how to automate based on some of the things that I shared with you today. Just having a Gmail, you'll be able to automate a lot of things, and that comes to you also at no cost because you already have access to Gmail. Some of these things you can do, use AI to build if you are very very savvy with AI, and some of them you have to pay for some of those platforms. Even if you build it, you have to host it, and it might require you to make some commitment. But if you don't have the funds to do that, then you can leverage on those trainings. I would want to thank everyone for joining. It's been a wonderful 2 hours. So we'll end it here because I have another session with a school almost immediately after now. Thank you for joining. Thank you, everyone. I'll see you during the next session.